In the spotlight once more, the distressing issue of enforced disappearances in Balochistan has garnered widespread attention, seeking impassioned calls for accountability and justice from human rights activists. The recent protest against Pakistan's atrocities on Baloch people has now reached the White House. Members of the Balochistan diaspora staged protests outside the White House against enforced disappearances and extrajudicial killings in Balochistan. The protests have been continuing for the last 18 days. The protesters are demanding that the United Nations Fact-Finding Committee visit Balochistan and make inquiries regarding the matter of enforced disappearances and also push to make an immediate recovery of all missing persons. We have this report.
In October of 2023, Baloch Mola Bakhsh, a 20-year-old from Turbat, Balochistan, was abducted from his home by unidentified individuals. Despite his family filing a missing complaint, they heard nothing for nearly a month, even after street protests over the matter. On November 21, Baloch was finally presented in a Turbat court, appearing visibly weak and potentially mistreated. Tragically, just 2 days later, the family received the devastating news that Baloch had been killed while in custody. This incident triggered a surge in protests across Balochistan, with thousands led by activist Dr. Mahrang Baloch marching to Islamabad. Dr. Mahrang, facing adversity from Pakistani security forces, spearheads the protest against extrajudicial killings. The sit-in protest in Islamabad continues, with numerous Baloch families seeking the safe recovery of missing persons. The protest against Pakistan's actions has now also transcended borders, reaching the White House. Baloch diaspora members recently staged a demonstration questioning Pakistan's enforced disappearances of Baloch people.
I'm here today because there's a Baloch genocide happening, and it's been happening since partition, and Pakistan annexed Balochistan in 1947, and we're here today because many Baloch people have been murdered and they have been genocided and kidnapped by the Pakistani army and military. And today we're here to stand with Baloch people that are still in Balochistan, that weren't sent here in exile, and we're here to stand with them and to stand with those families because what is happening is atrocious. It is a human rights violation and it should stop. We want a free Balochistan where Pakistan does not have the power over us to, commit these atrocities. And, we're here for a free Balochistan and for an end to the genocide.
Balochistan's history is marked by regular insurgencies following Pakistan's annexation of the autonomous Baloch state of Kalat in 1948. Baloch groups have consistently clashed with Pakistani security forces, demanding their rights and autonomy for ethnic Baloch regions or complete freedom from the clutches of Islamabad. Civilians have suffered greatly from these conflicts, facing unlawful detentions and extrajudicial killings by military, police and paramilitary personnel.
हमें पता है हमारे लोग मिसिंग नहीं है, हमारे लोग गलियों में गायब नहीं है, हमारे लोगों को रियासत ने दिन दहाड़े स्कूलों में, यूनिवर्सिटियों में, कॉलेजों में, घरों में उठाया है, क्योंकि हमें वो मालूम है कि वो रियासती फौज है, पाकिस्तानी पैरामिलिट्री फोर्सेस है, क्योंकि हमारे लोग अपनी सरजमीन की बात करते हैं, अपनी आज़ादी की बात करते हैं। ये रियासत जो है इस तरह की अखंड इस्तेमाल कर रही है, ये मैं समझता हूँ रियासत की बुखलाहट है, रियासत खौफ की उसमें है कि बलूचिस्तान ज़रूर फ्रीडम आज़ादी अपना ले लेगा और रियासत, क्योंकि जब हम आज़ादी की बात करते हैं रियासत हमें उठाती है, हमें मारती है, हमें गायब करती है और ये एक डीप स्टेट है, क्योंकि डीप स्टेट में जब आप बात करोगे, डीप स्टेट कोशिश यही करती है कि आपकी ज़ुबान काटे ताकि आप बात न करें।
Over the years, thousands of people have vanished in Balochistan, as a result of a brutal crackdown led by the military. Global media outlets have time and again highlighted the discovery of hundreds of bodies of suspected armed separatists and political activists in Balochistan province, pointing to extrajudicial killings by Pakistani security forces. According to a recent report by PANC, the Human Rights Department of Baloch National Movement, there have been 54 enforced disappearances, 32 torture victims, and 2 extrajudicial killings in December 2023. It is a tool by the Pakistani state to silence the oppressed people of the poor province. Families of the disappeared people suffer significant harm. They live with continuous uncertainty about the fate or whereabouts of their loved ones. Some of these missing persons' relatives have passed away with the pain and suffering in their chests, but their loved ones never returned back to them, and they died waiting. These grievances have fueled protests both within Balochistan and in Western countries.